Today we're going to be looking at the MonsterArts Godzilla X Kong, the new Empire Skar King. Let's see if this infamous figure is worth adding into your collection. So with the sculpt, the paint, and the detail, I think this thing looks really nice. Not great, but really nice. There are some things that I'm not crazy about. First off, this is concept art. This isn't the CGI model, and I'm okay with that. I'm personally okay with that. If you're not, that's absolutely fine. The Haya will come out. You know, hopefully at some point for you guys who want a movie accurate Skar. Once again, I'm okay with it not being accurate to the movie because that's not what this figure is based off of. Although I do wish the colors were a little bit more brighter. I do wish this was more of a bone white than gray, which once again is more movie accurate, but I do believe that is concept accurate. And then kind of the mute colors, like even on the box, he looks a little bit more red than here, where he kind of, it's not brown, but like, you know, it kind of got like a chocolatey color a little bit, but then it's also red in some lightings. I know some of that is my eyes. I have trouble seeing color differences. I don't know what it's called. It's just something I've always had. Eventually I will be colorblind if I make it to be 40 or 50 years old. I know I will eventually become colorblind. It happens in my family. So, but like it's good. The sculpt is great. I think they improved on the Kong sculpt when it comes to fur and stuff. Like I think he looks a lot better than that. Just when you're looking at it like that, he's got his crazy ass mullet. He's got an even bigger mullet here on this figure than he does in the movie. That's really cool. So, you know, if you want to, you know, have him stocked like that, you can, but like having his head down low, it looks like that's how the hair is sculpted. So the people that say it's supposed to be like this, well, that doesn't work when the hair is sculpted literally to be like that. So it's good. It's got a good sculpt. It's got weird sculpted feet though. Like I know that's mostly accurate, but because of that, if you have him even a little bit standing straight, he won't stand very well, okay? If you have him all up, I'm not going to get him all the way there, but you guys can see he's way too top heavy. So you got to kind of, you know, crouch the knees a little bit, hunch him forward. I think it looks good. It adds to the villainous, imposing look. And oh, now I've got him all messed up, but that's okay. You guys see what I mean? You just got to lean him over a little bit. All right. He looks good. I do think it's a little overhated, a little bit. I'm actually, I like the sculpt, okay? I like the sculpt. I like the paint. I think it's fine, okay? Okay, so we have this yelling, screaming, angry face. And I'm going to tell you guys right now, even though the eyes on this one are definitely really wonky, and there's something weird about the sculpt. I don't know what it is. Just something's a little off, and it throws the whole face off. I still like this one more than the base head, okay? I like this. I like this a lot. And it's really easy to attach, too. Just 2 ball joints. Watch this. Boom. You take it off. There's the neck peg. You grab the bottom of this and the top, you kind of pinch it. Just pop it out. Boom. Easy peasy. Lemon squeezy. Pop that in. Take this ball joint. Line it up. Boom. Easy. There it is on the figure. I actually really like that. Now for hands, we actually have these two, you know, the walking on the knuckles hands. These were not advertised to be with the figure when it was shown off. I believe it was still in the item listing, but we didn't have any photos of these, so these are kind of like bonus accessories. With the next set of hands, we have these kind of relaxed. You could use them as gripping hands, but they're more like handshake hands, kind of. They're just relaxed, kind of at the sides. These are nicely detailed as well. Nothing too fancy about these. Kind of style pose hands as well. You know, they've got multiple uses. They're good. And of course, for the final set of hands, for Skar at least, we have the 2 gripping hands, which you can tell they have actually got 2 different styles of grip. One's a little bit more closed. The other one's more open. Now, that might just be because I've used this one more. But, yeah, they look good. When you take the whip, which we'll take a look at here in a little bit, you put the teeth end right there. Boom. And this hand grips this very well. I'll be honest, this hand grips this very, very nicely. No problems there. Now, when it comes to this hand, well, he doesn't really grip it because this is how you'd want him to hold it. And it kind of just slides right out. Same thing with this side. Oop. Well, it kind of doesn't feel like you can really hold it. You can kind of get it in there. Yeah, like it's either too loose or it's too tight for the whip with this hand, but you can make it work. The other thing that I noticed with this hand that you can't do with the other one is you can take Kong's axe, find the thinnest point, and although it is loose, unless you hold it like right there, or you can hold it right there. So you can hold Kong's axe as well. Very cool. All right, so the whip. Okay, so one, it's not as blank painted as I thought it was going to be. It does actually have some shading, nothing crazy, but it does have a little bit. So paint-wise, it's pretty okay. I really do actually like the tip of the crystal. That looks nice. I don't know if that matches with Shimo, but we will see in a few days. Winky face. But it's pretty nice. It is a bendy wire, which makes it scary. One thing I will admit with this, though, I feel like this material, more than any bendy wire I've ever had, feels a bit more stable. Now, just because the material is better doesn't mean the actual wire itself is better. And admittingly, this thing is hard to get wrapped around his chest if you want it hanging from him. I would just strongly suggest that you just, maybe if you're going to buy this figure, pose it up in his hand, probably. You know, it can get into a lot of the poses. I know people are a little sad about how small it is, and I don't mind the length of this whip. I do wish that we got a whip that just went around his chest, kind of like Trunks' sheath. Something that's just permanent, something maybe that's not rubber like this. Something that we can just put on there and it's good, and then pop it off. I do wish we had a longer one as well. Once again, I don't think this one's too small, but having one that would be even longer as a second one or even a third one possibly would have been better. I won't deny that. We definitely should have a longer one, because this one, although it works in a lot of shots, it also limits a lot of the shots as well. You know, I mean, Gigan, you know, the Final Wars Gigan with his little hooks, they made those extremely long. I don't know why they couldn't have given us a long one. So I'm not completely against this, but there are some issues with the whip being the way it is. All right, so the most future me is trying to fix a mistake that I made, and I realized I accidentally deleted the video for the Beast Glove. So we're going to take a look at it now. It is pretty well painted. I do have a little mark there on mine that came out right on the box, I think. But otherwise, it's painted pretty well. In fact, I'm pretty impressed with it. There's a little bit of sloppiness, that's true, but it's nothing too bad. It does kind of have the same range as the normal arm, although if you push it one way or the other, these two side pieces will pop off because this all moves. I just hold it down, I pinch it, and that's it. It's still got a good bicep swivel, and the arm is the same. I'm not going to take it off. It's a pain in the butt. We're just going to be honest. I didn't think it was going to be, and then when I got it in hand, I was proven wrong. It does come with 3 hands total. We got a fist hand, which is in the package, and then we have this one, which it looks like he's kind of crawling out of the hollow earth. I really, really like this hand. And then we have this axe holding hand, which, unless you heat it up, I find it almost impossible to get the axe in there, so I honestly haven't tried it off. These two are tight fits. That one's kind of a loose fit, but it still moves. It looks nice. I'm okay with it. So, sucks that it's locked behind Skar, but, you know, build a figure. All right, so looking at the articulation on Skar King, he has really good range and really bad range all at the same time. He can look all the way down. You can get his mullet all the way down, so it looks natural. But then he can't really look up because you've got to lean him forward for his posture, so that barely gets him looking at eye level straight forward. It's when you straighten him up, obviously he is looking up a little bit, but not much. So a little update on the articulation. This is why I'm trying to do photos and stuff for reviews, is that I popped the mullet off because I was changing the head, and then I accidentally let him fall over. Look at that. So when you pop the mullet off, you can actually have the full range to look up, which is something I had a criticism with. And if you look at it like directly like that, it just looks like the mullet is hidden in with the fur. So yeah, a nice little add-on to make your Skar get a little bit more dynamic posing, and I really don't feel like it messes with it. If it really bothers you, you can always go in and, you know, find a way to piece the mullet on there. So that is super, super cool. I really like that at angles. Like, that looks so good. It's disappointing because he can basically do everything else, kind of like a certain alpha kaiju in this movie line. So it's funny that the mistake was made twice. The shoulders are really articulated. They can go all the way up, twist and turn. They don't have a butterfly joint, but they basically, they basically are butterfly joints in and of themselves. They can go really far forward and twist really far back. So you can get him to reach over himself. He's got a good bicep, tight, but it's good. And then these horrible elbows. Yeah, no, there's no excuse for those. It's because they molded the elbow in at an angle, so it's slightly angled as it is. You can see that right here. And then the ball joints are really short, and that also is the issue. There is actually no excuse for that. I will not argue anyone on that. That is just not very well designed. The wrists pop off really easy, as I've said before in this video. But they've got good range, and then these bottom joints are supposed to be kind of more the swivel. Mine are just tight, which I think most people's are. You heat that up, loosen it up a little bit, it'll be good. So just take it nice and slow. The waist and chest crunch are very nice on this. Won't deny there. He can basically only stand straight up, but he can lean, which is a lot of that bottom joint, which, depending on how you have the hips, you know, kind of changes how much he's able to do in there. It looks good. Gets that twist too. Very nice. The hips kick out. They can kick really far forward. They start actually swiveling a little bit, which is nice. And then you just use the thigh joint. They can't move back because this guy's got a big old thick badonka, and they actually sculpted the bottom of the badonka into the hips a little bit, so they hit each other, so they really can't go any far backwards. Now, these thigh joints actually are ball joints as well, and as you guys can see, actually act as their own hips, so you can get extended range when using both. You don't even have to pull them really far out. Like, look at that, man. This looks good. So you can kind of give yourself the illusion it's going a little bit far back, but it's not obviously the best joint. And then, of course, these knees, 90-degree angle, which is good, but they should be able just to fold in on themselves a little bit. And then the ankles are so tight on mine, I don't get half the range that they're supposed to. I don't get the pivot. They don't really go far forward, which I think some of that isn't tightness. I think that's just how it's sculpted. And they don't really go far down either. So, which sucks when they're so lopsided. The toe joint does look good for photos, but basically for actual use, basically doesn't really work. You can't balance him on those toes. So he's got really good articulation and engineering in some spots, and then in other spots they are, well, it's not good. So articulation wise, I'm still impressed for the most part, but there's definitely some issues. For size comparisons, here he is with the 2024 Kong. Obviously you can see he's hunched over in a little bit. He's definitely a lot taller, which I don't mind it, because I actually kind of like the idea of having Skar King be taller than Kong, but not movie accurate, so what are you going to do? There he is next to the SH MonsterArts Godzilla 2024 and Godzilla Evolved from 2024. He's still smaller than Godzilla when he's hunched over, which he's going to be in most of the time, so I do like this. He's in the middle. He's taller than Kong, but smaller than Godzilla. I like that. Here he is next to the SH Figuarts Jeed Primitive New Stars new generation Stars version. I believe it's a mouthful. And of course the SH Figure Arts Dragon Ball Daima mini Goku figure, which, holy shit, he's small. Finally, here it is next to the SH MonsterArts Godzilla -1 and the Robot Spirits Damashi Eva Unit 1 Movie 4 Thrice Upon a Time version. Looking very nice. As for my final thoughts on the SH MonsterArts Skar King, I'm actually even more favorably optimistic about this figure than I was yesterday when I recorded these clips. This is being recorded the day after because DaVinci's giving me some issues, and honestly, I kind of want to just want to hit my head against the wall. So, but I'm a big fan. Posing it today and taking photos of it was a tremendous amount of fun. And that's really what I wanted out of this figure. I didn't need anything that was movie accurate. I just wanted something that would stay together and pose really good and look good on camera next to Kong and Godzilla. And I'm happy to say, for me at least, it was worth it. The limitations on some of the articulation and the wrist popping off a little bit easy is somewhat of a turn off, but I'm going to be honest, it kind of made posing the whip easy because I just popped the hand off, put the whip in the pose that I want, put it back on the figure. If I need to do some balance adjustment, oh well, and boom, it worked. And I didn't need to cheat it. So, is this figure necessary? Absolutely not, unless you're a big MonsterArts completist or a Skar King completist. You don't need it, and even if you are, I would wait until Amazon puts this on sale. It's gonna go on sale this summer. All the figure arts and MonsterArts that don't sell very well always do. Wait for it until it's like 60, 70 bucks. That's just my opinion. And then if not, just wait until the Haya eventually comes out. So that's going to be it for the video. I'm, once again, very happy with it. Hopefully y'all enjoyed. I'll see you guys in the next one.